So welcome to the Strength Culture for a new video today where we're going to be discussing two of our favorite lower trap activation exercises that we use pre-lifting, particularly for the bench press. This is coming off the back of the series that we ran across the past 3 weeks where we discussed shoulder health in general during powerlifting, particularly the bench press and the low bar squat, and also how we can assess and then intervene if you are experiencing anterior or superior shoulder pain. We got tagged in a couple of videos with these exercises being performed probably sub-optimally. So we're going to go through just some tips and tricks for both of these lower trap activation exercises and how you can get the most out of it to then obviously help with your main lifts. So the first one we're going to go through with Charlie here is the half kneeling stick assist lower trap activation. So I'm going to get Charlie to move into the position. We go into the half kneeling position. We are activating the trap on the side with the leg that is up. Cool. And then Charlie will then move through the movement. Probably the couple of the biggest pointers with this exercise is the first thing we need to control is the rib cage and what the rib cage is doing relative to the shoulder blade. As you can see, Charlie's doing a really, really good job of it. He's keeping his rib down on the side that he's trying to activate. What he's not doing is extending and arching his back. So if he now extend the back on this next rep. This is what we're not doing. We need to make sure we control the rib cage because the rib cage is the foundation for the shoulder blade, and hence, if the foundation is not supported, then the shoulder blade itself will not be supported. Secondly, and what we probably see if Charlie now rotates around, so the back to the camera, probably the second biggest thing that we see with this exercise is you're cueing too much of a adduction, so too much of a retraction of the shoulder blade. So if Charlie does that first, where we get this big aggressive pull across the body. What this more than likely is activating is your rhomboid group, which is a downward rotator of the scap, whereas the traps or the lower trap is an upward rotator of the scap. So if we're getting too much rhomboid activation and too much retraction of the scapula, we're pretty much shutting off our ability to then activate the lower trap. So what we need is a posterior tilt. So the way that we cue that here is the armpit should be following the hand. So as the hand comes back, the armpit moves back with it. And that should then get a little bit of a posterior tilt from the shoulder blade coming from the lower trap. The last little piece is we're looking for about 160 degrees of shoulder flexion. So we can see here with Charlie, we're at about that range. That's the line of pull for the fibers of the lower trap. If we go too wide or too high, we're not actually in line with the fibers of the lower trap, and hence we're going to have a harder time to activate. That's the half kneeling stick assist lower trap activation drill and some tips for that. And then secondary to that, another big one that we use here at Strength Culture is prone one arm trap raise. So this is obviously a big one for a lot of throwing populations. I've adapted this, or I've taken this from Eric Cressy when I did my internship with him. He used it a lot with baseballers. However, we now apply it to powerlifters, particularly bench pressers who experience anterior shoulder pain. So the same sort of concepts apply, except now we don't have the passive stability occurring from the stick. So everything here is active, so we have to sort of control a few ranges and integrate them together, so it's more of an integrated movement. But the same concepts apply. We're looking for 160 degrees of shoulder flexion. We're looking for the armpit to follow the hand, so we're trying to cue that posterior tilt of the shoulder blade and not retraction. And then the last thing is we're still controlling our core position, so we're making sure that we're not arching on the way up and we're maintaining a nice, strong, solid core ribcage position for the foundation of the lower trap and the shoulder blade. If you have any questions, drop them in the comment section below. Hopefully this has managed to help you out with your activation of the lower trap. As always, all of our links are in the description box, and happy lifting.